He didn't even let her explain. "Pack your things," he said, already walking away. She blinked slow, like her brain needed a second to catch up with what her ears just heard. The office was too quiet, too clean, too normal, like nothing had just gone completely sideways. Her hands were still on the keyboard, fingers stiff, eyes dry, no tears, not yet, just numb. A notification blinked on her screen. Another one, then another. She didn't even look at them. Not after that, not after him. Before we get into this, she would have told people this story differently if she had the chance. She would have slowed it down, made them sit in it. So if you're watching this right now, drop where you're tuned in from. She always loved knowing how far stories travel. And tell her this, after everything that went down, what would you have done in her place? Because most people think they know, until they're in it. Also, hit the subscribe button for more interesting stories like this. Her name was Nia Carter, senior cybersecurity analyst at one of the fastest growing fintech companies in Atlanta. The kind of place that bragged about innovation while quietly burning people out behind glass walls and polished floors. She wasn't loud, didn't chase attention, didn't need validation. She just worked, and she was good at it. Too good, honestly. That's what made people uncomfortable, especially Marcus. Marcus Reed, CEO, founder, the face of the company, sharp suits, controlled smile, the kind of man who measured respect in silence, not words. He didn't trust easily. And he didn't like surprises. That morning he got one. He stepped out of the elevator, already irritated. Late meeting, investors flying in, numbers not where he wanted them. Everything had to be perfect. Then he saw her, head down, at her desk, asleep, not slumped, not dozing, out cold, right there in the middle of the open floor. He stopped walking, just stared. The office assistant noticed too, then someone else. It spread fast, like quiet gossip always does. Marcus didn't say anything at first. He just walked closer, slow, measured, like he was confirming what he already believed. "Unbelievable," he muttered. Nia didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't hear him. That made it worse. He looked around. People were pretending not to watch. That irritated him even more. He cleared his throat, loud, still nothing. So he did what men like him do when they feel disrespected. He made it public. "Is this what we're doing now?" he said, voice sharp enough to cut through the entire floor. A few heads snapped up. Nia stirred, barely. Her eyes opened halfway, slow, heavy, like dragging herself out of something deeper than sleep. She looked at him, didn't speak, didn't apologize, just looked. Wrong move. Marcus folded his arms. "You getting paid to nap now?" Still nothing. Her lips parted slightly like she was about to say something, then stopped. That pause, that silence, he read it as guilt, as laziness, as disrespect. He shook his head. "HR now." That's all he said. No questions, no curiosity, no attempt to understand. Just judgment, and a decision already made. Nia blinked again, fully awake now, but not panicked. Not defensive, just tired, deep tired. The kind that sleep doesn't fix. She pushed her chair back slowly, stood up, every movement deliberate, controlled, like she was holding something in, or holding herself together. People watched, nobody spoke. She walked past Marcus, didn't look at him, didn't argue, didn't plead. That annoyed him more than anything. He followed. HR was already waiting. Of course they were. This company moved fast when it came to discipline, not so much when it came to support. "Take a seat, Nia," the HR manager said, voice soft in that fake corporate way. Nia sat, hands in her lap, eyes steady. Marcus stayed standing. "I won't waste time," he said. "We have standards here. This isn't a lounge. If you can't stay awake during working hours, you don't belong here." Still no response. The HR manager glanced at Nia. "Would you like to explain what happened?" There it was. The moment. The opening. The chance to say everything. She could have. She should have. But she didn't. She just looked at them both. Then said quietly, "I understand." Marcus let out a short laugh. "Oh, you understand. Good. That makes this easier." He turned to HR. "Terminate effective immediately." Just like that. No hesitation. No second thought. The HR manager nodded, already typing. Paperwork, signatures, formalities, all cold, all routine. Nia reached for the pen. Her hand didn't shake. That's what stuck with the HR manager later. Not the situation, not the firing, but how calm she was. Like she'd already accepted something bigger than this. She signed, stood up. "Can I collect my thing?" she asked. Marcus shrugged. "Make it quick." She nodded once, then walked out, back to her desk. The same desk where it all went wrong, or at least, where it looked like it did. She sat down again. The screen was still lit, still blinking. Notifications, alerts, warnings, dozens of them, hundreds actually. Nobody else seemed to notice or care. They were too busy pretending everything was normal. She exhaled slowly, then started typing, fast, focused, like she was still on the clock. Because in her mind, she was, even if they weren't. A junior analyst walked by, paused. "Hey, you okay?" Nia didn't look up. "Yeah." "You sure?" I said I'm okay. Not rude, just final. The analyst nodded awkwardly and walked off. Nia kept going. Lines of code, security logs, firewall breaches. It was all there. Everything she had been dealing with for the past 48 hours. No sleep, no breaks, no backup. Just her. Because she caught something. Something small at first. A glitch. A pattern that didn't feel right. Most people would have ignored it, logged it, moved on. But she didn't. She dug deeper. And what she found wasn't small. It was a coordinated attack, sophisticated, persistent, targeting their payment infrastructure. If it went through, it wouldn't just hurt the company, it would destroy it. Customer data, financial records, millions at risk. And the worst part? Nobody else saw it or believed her when she flagged it, except one system, one silent confirmation. The alerts on her screen right now, still flashing, still active, still dangerous. She stopped typing, just for a second. Closed her eyes, not to sleep, just to breathe. Then she opened them again and kept going, because getting fired didn't stop what was coming. And she knew that, even if they didn't. She should have walked out. That's what anyone else would have done. Laptop closed, badge dropped, pride swallowed. Done. But Nia didn't move like anyone else. She was still sitting there. Same desk, same screen, same storm building behind code nobody else could read. The system pinged again, sharp this time. Different. Her eyes narrowed. "They're testing the wall," she muttered under her breath. A new pattern, more aggressive, less subtle. They weren't probing anymore. They were pushing hard. Across the floor, people were laughing. Someone just closed a deal. A few desks down, someone was arguing over lunch orders. Normal office noise. Meanwhile, their entire back end was seconds away from bleeding out, and nobody knew, except the woman they just fired. Nia's fingers moved faster. She rerouted traffic, isolated entry points, locked down segments, temporary fixes. Not enough, not even close. She needed clearance. Admin level, the kind they just stripped from her 10 minutes ago. She clicked a command anyway. Access denied. She exhaled. Of course. For a split second, she considered it. Walking into Marcus's office, explaining everything. But then she pictured his face. The way he looked at her. Not curious, not concerned. Just done with her. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. So she did something else. Something risky. Something that could get her into real trouble if anyone noticed. She opened a back door. Not illegal. Not exactly. More like forgotten. A legacy admin pathway no one bothered shutting down after the last system upgrade. She helped design it, which meant she knew exactly how to use it. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard for half a second. Then she went in. Access granted. "Let's go," she whispered. Now she was inside the core. Deeper than before, deeper than she was supposed to be. And that's when she saw it. Not just one breach, multiple, layered, coordinated. They weren't just trying to get in. They were already in, quietly sitting there, waiting, mapping, learning. Her stomach tightened. This is bad. No, not bad, calculated. These weren't random hackers. This was a team. Professionals. The kind that didn't rush. The kind that waited for the perfect moment. And she knew exactly what that moment was going to be. Investor presentation, live transactions, peak system load, maximum damage, maximum exposure. She checked the clock. 2 hours. That's all they had. Across the building, Marcus was pacing his office. Phone pressed to his ear. "Yes, I understand expectations," he said, voice tight. "We're on track." He wasn't, but he believed he was. That's what confidence does. It blinds you just enough to miss the thing that matters. He hung up, looked at his reflection in the glass, adjusted his cufflinks. Everything looked right. Everything felt under control. Just how he liked it. A knock at the door. "Come in." It was Angela, head of operations, sharp, observant, the kind of person who noticed details others ignored. "Quick question," she said. "Did something happen on the floor earlier?" Marcus didn't look up from his tablet. "Handled." That analyst, Nia, she looked unprofessional? He cut in. Yes, that's why she's gone. Angela hesitated. She's one of your best. Was, he corrected. Angela stepped closer. Marcus. She flagged a security concern last week. Something about unusual traffic. He finally looked up, annoyed. We get alerts every week. This one felt different. Clearly not different enough. Angela studied him. He was already done with the conversation. That told her everything. She nodded slowly. All right. But she didn't look convinced. Not even close. Back at her desk, Nia's screen exploded with activity. They were moving faster now. She saw the shift instantly. They know, she whispered. Not that she was there. But that something changed. Their attack pattern adjusted. More aggressive, less cautious, like they were racing something. Or someone. Her. She leaned forward. Heart steady, mind sharp. No panic, just focus. You want speed? She said under her breath. Let's move. She deployed a trap, a false vulnerability, something tempting, something loud, a digital bait, and they took it immediately. Got you. She tracked the entry, followed the signal, location masked. Of course, but not perfectly. Nobody's perfect, not even them. She started peeling layers, one by one. Firewall logs, IP hops, encrypted tunnels. It was messy, but she was better. Across the room, two engineers were arguing. Systems lagging, one said. Probably traffic spike. No, this feels... Relax, man, it's fine. It wasn't fine. Not even a little. Nia's fingers paused, just for a second. Her vision blurred. Not from emotion, from exhaustion. 48 hours. No real sleep. Just adrenaline and stubbornness. Her body was starting to push back. Hard. She closed her eyes, counted to 3. Opened them again. Still sharp. Still here. Still fighting. You can crash later, she told herself. Not now. She kept going. Inside Marcus's office. He smiled. For the first time that day. The investors had arrived. Everything was lining up. This was his moment. The room was clean. Presentation ready. Numbers polished. Confidence high. He shook hands, firm grip, controlled energy. Glad you could make it. They sat. Screens lit up. The future of the company, about to be showcased. Back on the floor, Angela stood up. Something felt off. She couldn't explain it, didn't have proof. Just instinct. She walked over to Nia's desk, stopped, watched. Nia didn't notice her at first. Too deep in it, too locked in. Angela's eyes moved to the screen, then widened. What the hell? Lines of code flying, security panels open, alerts stacking. This wasn't someone packing up after being fired. This was someone in the middle of a war. Nia, Angela said. No response. Nia. Still nothing. She stepped closer. Talk to me. Nia finally looked up. Slow, tired, but clear. They're inside, she said. Angela frowned. Who? Hackers. Angela blinked. What? Not small, not random. Coordinated. They're waiting for the presentation to hit peak traffic. Angela's chest tightened. You're serious? Nia didn't answer. She just turned the screen slightly. Showed her. That was enough. Angela stepped back. Why didn't you report this? Nia just stared at her. Didn't say it. Didn't need to. Angela got it. They didn't listen. Nia looked back at the screen. I don't have full access anymore. I'm working around it, but it's not enough. Angela made a decision. Fast. Stay here. She turned and walked. No hesitation. Straight to Marcus's office. She didn't knock. Just opened the door. Mid-presentation. Heads turned. Marcus froze. Annoyed. What are you doing? Angela didn't care. We have a problem. Not now. Yes, now. His jaw tightened. This better be important. She stepped closer, lowered her voice. It's Nia. That name again. He exhaled sharply. What about her? She's still working. That's not possible. It is. And she says we're under attack. Silence. For half a second. Then, Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. Incredible. Angela didn't move. She showed me the system. That's exactly why she was fired. Overreacting. Creating problems where there aren't any. This doesn't look fake. It is. How do you know? Because if something that serious was happening, I would know. There it was. That confidence again. That blind spot. Angela studied him. You really believe that? I built this company, he said. I know when something's wrong. Behind him, the presentation screen flickered. Just for a second. Nobody else noticed, except Angela. And she saw it. That tiny glitch. That one moment. Something breaking. She pointed. That, Marcus turned. Too late. The screen went black. Then, error message. System failure. The room went silent. No one spoke. No one moved. Just stared. Marcus's face changed. Not panic, not yet, but something close. What is this? One investor asked. Marcus grabbed the remote. Clicked. Nothing. Again. Nothing. His voice tightened. Give me a second. He turned to Angela. Slow, controlled, but different now. Fix it. Angela didn't move. I told you. That's when it hit him. Not fully, not completely, but enough. He looked back at the dead screen, then toward the floor outside, toward Nia's desk. And for the first time since this started, he wasn't sure. Now it was quiet in a different way. Not the fake office quiet. Not the everyone mind your business kind. This one had weight, the kind that presses on your chest and makes your thoughts louder than they should be. Marcus felt it first. That shift. That moment when confidence starts cracking, but your ego hasn't caught up yet. He looked at the screen again. Still dead. Still blank. Still wrong. Get it in here now, he snapped. They're already trying, Angela said. Trying? His voice sharpened. Trying what? They don't have access. That landed. Hard. What do you mean they don't have access? Angela didn't sugarcoat it. I mean, whatever's happening, it's deeper than them. Across the table, one of the investors leaned back slowly. Are we compromised? Nobody answered right away. And that silence? That was the answer. Marcus turned toward the door. Fast. Where is she? Angela didn't hesitate this time. Still at her desk. He didn't say another word, just walked. No, he almost ran, straight out of the room. Past the glass walls, past employees now standing, whispering, confused. The whole floor felt different, like something invisible had just walked in and taken control. He saw her, still there, same seat, same screen, same focus, like nothing else existed, like she never stopped working. For a second, he just stood there, watching, trying to reconcile what he thought he knew with what he was seeing. Then, Nia, she didn't turn. I need admin access restored, she said calm. No greeting, no emotion, no, you fired me. Just straight to it. Marcus blinked. You're still logged in. Through a back door you forgot existed, she replied. That stung, not because of what she said, but because of how easily she said it, like it was obvious, like he should have known. He stepped closer. What's happening? Now she turned, finally, looked him straight in the eye. They're inside your system, she said, not trying to get in, already in. They've been mapping your infrastructure for hours, maybe longer. His jaw tightened. How bad? She held his gaze. If they trigger during peak load, your transactions crash, customer data leaks, and your company bleeds money in real time. You won't recover from it clean. No drama, no exaggeration, just facts. Behind him, more people had gathered. Angela, a few engineers, even some staff who had no business being there. Everyone listening, everyone waiting. Marcus swallowed, hard. What do you need? Nia didn't hesitate. Full access, right now. No restrictions. He paused. Just a second. But she caught it. That hesitation, that ego. That last bit of control he didn't want to let go of. Her eyes narrowed slightly. You can keep thinking you're in charge, she said quietly, or you can let me stop this. That did it. Do it, he said, turning to Angela. Restore everything. Angela moved immediately, typing, commands, overrides. Within seconds. Access granted. Nia didn't say thank you, didn't look relieved. She just turned back to the screen and went to war. Her fingers flew, faster than before. Now she wasn't working around the system. She was inside it, fully. She isolated the infected nodes, cut off pathways, rebuilt firewalls in real time. The screen lit up with motion, code flowing like water. Marcus stood behind her, watching, not speaking, not interrupting. For the first time since this started, he was learning, or trying to. What are they doing? He asked. Waiting, she said. For what? She didn't look up. For the exact moment your system hits maximum pressure. Which is, she checked the clock, then answered, now. Right on cue. The system spiked, traffic surged, investors still logged in, transactions climbing, everything peaking. And then, the attack hit, hard. Every screen in the building flickered, alerts screamed, systems lagged, then stuttered. Employees gasped. One engineer cursed under his breath. This is bad. I know, Nia cut in, but she didn't panic. Didn't freeze, didn't even slow down. She leaned forward, eyes sharp, locked in. Come on, she whispered. The hackers pushed deeper, trying to break through her defenses, trying to override her controls. They were good, very good, but she was better. She redirected the attack, forced it into controlled zones, contained the damage, minimal spread, maximum control. Marcus watched the numbers, watched the chaos, watched her, and something in him shifted. Not admiration, not yet, something more uncomfortable than that. Respect, the kind you don't want to give, but can't deny. You've done this before, he said. She didn't answer, didn't have time. The system glitched again, then steadied. Then, one final surge. The hackers made their last move. All in, everything they had. Nia saw it coming, smiled slightly. Got you. She triggered the trap, the one she said earlier, the one they thought they were exploiting, but weren't. It flipped, locked them in, cut them off, traced them back. Hard, fast, precise. Then, silence. No alerts, no errors, no noise. Just a steady system, running, clean, stable, alive. The room didn't react immediately. It took a second for everyone to realize it was over. Angela exhaled first. Oh my God! One of the engineers sat down hard. Marcus didn't move, didn't speak, just stared at the screen, then at her, then back at the screen again, processing, replaying everything, what he said, what he assumed, what he did, and what she just prevented. Nia leaned back in her chair, finally, for the first time. She looked tired, not weak, not broken, just human. She closed her eyes, just for a second, then opened them again. Marcus stepped forward. You stopped it? She nodded once. They're out. And the data? Secure. And the system? Stable. He let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Then, good. That was it. Just good. Nia looked at him, really looked this time, and something in her expression changed. Not anger, not even disappointment. Something quieter, something colder. She stood up, slow, controlled. Then I'm done here. Marcus frowned. What do you mean? I mean you fired me. That hit differently now, in front of everyone, in front of the same people who just watched her save everything. He glanced around, felt it, the shift, the judgment, the unspoken thoughts. He cleared his throat. That was before. No, she said. That was when it mattered. Silence again, heavy, uncomfortable. You didn't ask, she continued. You didn't check. You saw what you wanted to see. Marcus opened his mouth, closed it, because she wasn't wrong. I was working for 48 hours straight, she said, trying to stop exactly what just happened. Nobody moved, nobody spoke. You saw me for 5 seconds, she added, and decided everything. That landed, deep. Marcus ran a hand through his hair. You should have said something. She almost smiled, not in a happy way, in a tired way. I tried. That was the part he couldn't argue, because Angela had said the same thing, because the alerts were there, because the signs existed. He just didn't listen. He looked at her, really looked this time, and saw it. The exhaustion, the focus, the strength it took to sit there after being dismissed and still do the job for a company that just threw her away. You're not fired, he said quickly. Stay. There it was, the offer, the reversal, the attempt to fix it. But it came late, too late. Nia shook her head. No, simple final. You don't get to undo that because it worked out. Marcus stepped closer. You're valuable here. Another small smile. This one sharper. I know. That wasn't arrogance. That was truth. I don't need you to tell me that after the fact. He hesitated then. What will it take? Straight to negotiation, because that's what he knew. Money, position, power, that usually worked. Nia picked up her bag, slow, unbothered. It's not about that. Then what is it about? She looked at him, calm, steady, trust. That word sat there, heavy, because you can't negotiate it. You can't buy it. And once it's gone, it doesn't come back the same. Marcus didn't have a response, not a real one. So he stood there, watching as she walked away. Not rushed, not emotional, just done. Angela stepped aside to let her pass. Their eyes met. Angela nodded once. Respect, real respect. Nia nodded back, then kept walking. Out of the office, out of the building, into air that didn't feel so heavy. Behind her, the company was still standing, because of her, in spite of him. Marcus turned back to the floor. People were watching him now, different than before. Not impressed, not intimidated, just aware that he got it wrong. Badly. He looked at Nia's empty desk, then at the system she just saved, then at his reflection in the glass. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't look certain. Moral lesson: people don't break companies. Assumptions do. The most dangerous mistake isn't hiring the wrong person, it's misjudging the right one. Nia didn't lose her job because she lacked skill. She lost it because someone in power made a decision without understanding the full picture. That's how damage really happens. Not from ignorance, but from confidence without curiosity. In fast-moving environments, especially in industries like cybersecurity, finance, or tech infrastructure, the smallest signal can mean everything. The person who notices that signal might not always look polished in that moment. They might be exhausted, quiet, unnoticed. But that doesn't make them wrong. Marcus believed control meant having all the answers. But real leadership isn't about always being right. It's about knowing when to ask questions, when to pause, and when to listen to the people closest to the problem. Another lesson here is about integrity. Nia kept working after she was fired. Not because she needed validation, not because she wanted her job back, but because she understood responsibility at a deeper level. She saw the consequences beyond herself. That kind of discipline is rare, and it's powerful. But even with that strength, she still walked away. Why? Because respect isn't proven in crisis, it's proven before it. Apologies after the fact don't rebuild trust when the foundation was never there to begin with. Opportunity means nothing if the environment doesn't value you until it's too late. So here's the truth. Pay attention to people before you need them. Ask before you assume. And if you're the one doing the work no one sees, understand your worth before someone else tries to define it for you. Because sometimes the biggest win isn't saving the system. It's knowing when to leave it.